college. He saw Nicolas Cage going up an escalator in a movie theater and turned to his friends. I hate Nicolas Cage. He has such a big head. He liked to kick back and tell us how much he liked weed and shrooms. How bad could it be for you, he said. It comes out of the ground. He liked to kick back and roll a split with his friends at night. He always liked to go higher and higher. We're here, he'd say, lifting his hands in the middle of his chest. But we don't need to go here, he continued on, and raised his hand up to his neck. Friedrich Rücker wrote 425 poems after his two youngest children died from scarlet fever within 16 days of each other in 1833 and 1834. He could not cope and often thought they had gone out for a while. They'll be home soon, he told himself to tell his wife. They're only taking a long walk. Mahler scored 5 of those poems in 1901 and 1904 for a vocalist and an orchestra to break your heart. As soon as I heard the plaintive oboe and the descending movement of the horn and the lyric baritone entering, I felt I should not be listening to Dietrich Friedrich Dieskau singing Kinder Totenlieder with the Berlin Philharmonic. Mahler's wife was superstitious and thought he was chanting disaster with songs on the death of children. Now the sun wants to rise so brightly as if nothing terrible had happened overnight. The tragedy happened to me alone. Mahler knew he never could have written them after his 4-year-old daughter died from scarlet fever 3 years later. He said he felt sorry for himself, that he needed to write these songs, and for the world that would listen to them. I stood at the damaged site across the street from my house and watched a steel ball crashing into the homeless shelter abandoned on Dean Street, all the people scattered. It takes tremendous force to weaken a building and turn bricks into rubble. It doesn't take long. The crane swung around and pitched the heavy ball into the guts of the structure, holding its side like a wounded veteran. The hard hats gathered to watch the pendulum swing into the concrete body of a building slated for demolition so there could be progress. I was against the project and riveted to the wreckage. Time and again the fighter wavered and finally collapsed. I did not stay to see the building broken down into debris and then carted away. Some nights I could not tell if he was the wrecking ball or the building it crashed into. When I'm standing in line at the DMV and the stoner next to me starts ranting about his parole officer. The dude has anger management issues. He's profiling me. I couldn't get there because my grandmother was sick. When his buddy rolls into Big Nick's wearing cargo shorts and an Oscar the Grouch t-shirt, and I slip him a $50 bill. When one of his goofball friends swears he will never take hard drugs again, and then drops 3 tabs of acid and winds up in an institution in Tennessee. When I recite Surprised by Joy and Patient as the Wind, and think about Wordsworth's daughter Catherine, his 6-year-old son Thomas, his daughter Dora, whose death caused him to quit. When someone's nephew, someone's brother's oldest son, a drunken teenager, gets stuck on the railroad tracks. When I see fresh-faced soldiers hurrying off the plains in Atlanta and everyone begins to clap. When the truck swerves into my lane. When lightning strikes a tree while I'm walking across a field. When the young anesthesiologist puts a needle into my arm and I start to go under. I did not know the work of mourning is like carrying a bag of cement up a mountain at night. The mountaintop is not in sight because there is no mountain.